Absolutely. And most of us, if you didn't go to an Ivy League school, if you didn't grow up in an affluent neighborhood, right? If your parents weren't wealthy, you do not have a network, right? And that's most of us, especially as Black people. I had no network when I started. I didn't know anything about starting a business. I just went and did it and read books, and there was much less available than there is now. So we have to manufacture that network for ourselves. We have to find a way to create it. And the way that we do that, I just went to events, right? Mm-hmm. I went to business events. I joined business communities. And that's where I met some of my closest friends that I have today, that we do events together. We partner on certain things, right? And that network around you is so crucial. And I always say, if you got a friend who keeps you on the phone every night with all her drama, okay, we love her. We can talk to her once a month, but we can't be on the phone with her every night.
With the same drama.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because she's doing the same things the same way.
Exactly. You got to be around people. Listen, iron sharpens iron. As soon as you get around a community of people who are out there doing it, and they're talking about their wins, and they're talking about who they're meeting, and they're like, oh, with me to this event, right? Come with me to this experience. It makes it so much easier for you to reach your goal. When you try to do it alone, it is so much harder.
What about people who feel like they're not social, right? They go to these events and there's thousands of...
I'm not social.
And there's thousands of people networking, but I have heard people are like, how do I even approach anyone?
Yes.
How do I keep those relationships going? How do I follow up? How do I make sure I know there's a million people trying to talk to, to Rachel?
Yes.
How do I make sure that she can make the time? And because it's hard to do that.
Yes.
So how does that work?
I agree. And I think it can be challenging. What I would say is if you feel uncomfortable, first of all, uncomfortable is a part of growth. So that's just what you got to do, right? You got to be willing to be uncomfortable. But I also think what I used to do is try to make online connections first before I got there. So I would try to message people, or if there's a Facebook group for the event, I would try to connect with people there and just try to find one or two people that I know, so I have a game plan when I walk in. Because believe it or not, I'm a loudmouth, but I don't really love talking to strangers. I love talking to people I know, right?
It's awkward at events sometimes.
Yeah, it can be so
you don't want to
awkward.
bother the people. You don't want to...
Yes. And what I used to do, too, is I would just find something that I like, oh, I love those earrings. Where'd you get those? Start a conversation that way, compliment them, something genuine. And that's sort of a way in to start a conversation. And being there and being helpful, having the goal of how can I be useful? How can I help people? What skills do I have or talents do I have that I can bring to the table here, instead of trying to get something? Because I think people, I know you feel that energy, right? We all do, right? When people are trying to get something from us, or you repel that. You don't want to be around somebody who's trying to take something from you, right? And so I think if you just show up and say, how can I be helpful and useful, and enter into conversations where, oh, you talking about a legal issue? Let me tell you about, how to solve that problem. I'm a lawyer, right? So just using whatever you've got as a way in. Is that what have you done, Nicole?
So I am an attraction marketing person. I attract people to me because I don't walk up to people and start conversations. So what I've done is gone into people's communities and become an expert in there.
Yes.
So everybody knows me. So when I go to the actual events, they're like, Nicole, and that's how I start the conversation.
Yes.
It's kind of backing into it, right? Because I'm not, I network, but I find that it's easier to just have conversations with people. But it's easier for me if I connect with them, as Rachel said, connect with them online, on social media, have a conversation. So when you get there, you're like, okay, this is the person I want to talk to.
Yes, you have a point of reference.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's how I do. And I've become a little bit of a celebrity in some communities.
Yes, it's so true. Everybody knows the 5-minute bookkeeper.
Yeah.
In my community, she's famous.
I am. And so, but I don't know half the people. And I love talking to people.
But they know you.
Yeah. But I love talking to people. I just don't like starting conversations.
Yes.
Right?
And I guess when you go to certain things, like you said, investing in yourself and going to these events,
yes,
getting a coach, even when they cost money to go to an event, everybody's there for that reason.
Yes.
Right? I was thinking, Stacey, you hooked me up with Cassandra Cummings for her stocks and stilettos. When I went out there,
yes,
I was talking about getting investors in my coffee company, and people were coming up to me afterward well, how can we talk about, invest? Because everybody's there for that.
Yes.
I'm meeting
right.
angel investors.
Exactly.
I'm meeting all different kinds of people, and everybody's there for their reason. They're a business owner. They're an investor.
Yes.
They're looking to have those conversations.
Yeah, and I like building community better than networking.
Yes.
Because people get that, I have to network, I have to meet that. Just be real. Okay, well,
yes,
this is what I'm about. What are you about? You'll find your natural connection points. And just the science of it when you're in community with someone and trying to achieve a goal together, they'll hold you accountable. You have an 80% higher chance of achieving
Yes.
that goal.
Exactly.
And